Hallo, Deutsch 2. Deutsch 2. Ja, wir haben morgen am Donnerstag unser Examen und ja, Kapitel 3b. Kapitel 3b. Und 3b is our chapter we're looking at. So please be sure you take a look at that. Also, let's go over as I look through I think I said this maybe before spring break and haven't said it since then, but a good deal of this chapter is not necessarily grammatical. In fact, there's very little about it that is grammatical that we're covering, at least. A lot of it's just vocabulary related. It's important vocabulary because it begins kind of the framework of being able to tell a narrative story with some of the words like at the beginning, and then after that, you can continue on, and then, and finally, right? So you have all those words. There's a handful of them. We'll look at those real quick. And then you have also these indefinite pronouns like everything, no one, someone, nothing, something, words like this. Again, all in your chapter. Please take a look. There is at least one section we're not doing, but if you don't see it on the practice test, then it's not going to be on the regular test. So it really is a vocabulary related test, although the beginning of it, you'll have to work in some sentences about the theme of the chapter. And the theme of the chapter is really this travel related stuff. So be sure that you're looking at not just the words, the indefinite pronouns and the timing, what I'm going to call timing pronouns. I'll get back to that. But also the larger vocabulary about airport, train, ships, train stations, airports, all those things that we talked about. Some of the things are in your culture section about traveling. So be sure and look at those things. So I just said some of these things already, but the things, travel related stuff, that's going to be a part of it. Also timing expressions, as I just mentioned. Zuerst, zuletzt, dann, danach. There's maybe one or two others there where you can tell a story from about an event in the past and narrate that story with some kind of timing checkpoints in it, if you will. So then, when you say words like then or after that, those could be almost synonymous. You're saying that this is the sequence in which things happen. So as I say, timing checkpoints, that's what I'm talking about there. And then the indefinite pronouns I mentioned already. Alles, nichts, etwas, jemand, niemand, Mann, M-A-N, just meaning one, not the number one, but just like one as people in general, okay? So I put together, and I've already posted it yesterday or maybe the day before yesterday, this combined Quizlets. I think I combined three, maybe all the classes are running together, but I think 3 or 4 Quizlets from over the past few weeks. And so it's really important you look back at all these things, the vocabulary, which is a big chunk of the test, the combined Quizlets, the travel-related activity theme, and the vocabulary goes along with that. Timing expressions, again, these are just words that you need to know to be able to do well on the test. And then the indefinite pronouns are really important as well. So, and are words that are important in most languages, those kinds of words. I'm going to look real quickly here at another sample of not the one that I believe I sent you as a practice exam, but one that similar to it. Let me pull it up here. So give me just 1 second to tell you what. All right, take all that off. Good. And Okay. Good. Now let's take a look here. I'm taking this from the textbook, and let me expand it a little bit. And we'll just go through this test. Again, this is different, a little different than the one I gave you to look at. I think I sent it to you in a PDF file. I think it came through pretty well. Look like there are kind of some blank pages, but there really are not blank pages. I don't know why it gave extra pages like that, but okay. So write a sentence. These are, again, this is the travel related stuff. So we can see kind of what's going on here. A suitcase, people at I see restaurant up there. I see airport, obviously. Looks like they're in Europe somewhere and by a castle or something. So yeah, Ali und Lara. Just the first thing that comes to my mind is Ali und Lara packen den Koffer. Something like that. Yeah, that's all I need to know. It's just a sentence that describes the picture, and it's going to be related back to. So here we might say, I'm going to copy and paste that. Die Gäste. What could we say? Wollen im Restaurant essen. Yeah. Die Gäste, they want to eat in the restaurant. Something like that. Let's see here. Here I've got Herr und Frau Becker. These two people were talking about them. So get the full form of the verb. Herr und Frau Becker. Yeah. Let's say gehen. We could say durch den Flughafen. Yeah. Going through the airport. And Nina. Well, let's say here. Nina macht Urlaub. Remember Urlaub, vacation. Macht Urlaub. That's a good word. I don't know why I didn't like that. Macht Urlaub. Oh, where is she? In Spanien, maybe. Doesn't look like a German castle to me. Could be, but Spanien. Yeah, Nina, she's taking a vacation in Spanien. Good. Then this next section here, use the, well, actually, that's the section we're not going to do that. That will not be on your test. That's the section we did not do. The next part here has a list of phrases. Some of these are these timing expressions I talked about. They're calling them just time expressions. But eine Woche, nächstes Mal, next time. Remember these words? Zuerst, please look at the Quizlet. Danach, zum ersten Mal, for the first time. And we just plug these in then to the assignment or to the quiz. It was like this. Ich bin letztes Jahr blank nach Deutschland geflogen. I've flown to Germany last year. A week after that. Next time. First. For the first time. Now that makes sense. So I would just take that and say, ich bin letztes Jahr zum ersten Mal nach Deutschland geflogen. So I flew to Germany last year for the first time. Now, number two, I can get my little, here it is, begins with the phrase, something wollte ich München sehen. So let's assume that they're telling some type of story that has an order to it, like what happened first. It told us when they went there was last year for the first time. But then this is probably going to be talking about what they did first, right? That's the first thing. And I'm going to say this is it here. Zuerst. So zuerst. First, I wanted to visit, I got to capitalize that. Wanted to visit Wollte ich München or wanted to see Munich. Ich bin blank in München geblieben. Well, ich bin, we've already used zum ersten Mal und zuerst. We left these three then. Eine Woche, nächstes Mal, or danach. Let's say it says something about staying in Munich. Okay. I have stayed the next time in Munich. I have stayed afterwards in Munich. I stayed a week in Munich. Yeah, that's the only one that really makes sense. Eine Woche in München geblieben. I said, yeah, I wanted to see it first. And I ended up staying a week there. Yeah. Again, we're going to begin number 4 with the blank. Blank bin ich nach Berlin gefahren. So Munich is over. That was the zuerst. She told us a little bit more about having decided to stay for a week. So what do you think is going to what's the next sequence of events then? Blank bin ich nach Berlin gefahren, where we're only left with danach and nächstes Mal. So after that and the next time, or just next time. And I think after that, meaning Munich, I went to Berlin. I think that's probably the best choice. I'm going to copy and paste that into the, oops. Don't want that. And good. After that, after Munich, bin ich nach Berlin gefahren. Blank möchte ich auch Leipzig und Dresden besuchen. So would like to visit Leipzig and Dresden. So she went to Munich and Berlin, and we're left with only one here. Nächstes Mal. Next time, what does she want to visit? She wants to visit Dresden und Leipzig. Yeah? Dresden und Leipzig. Oops, don't know what I keep doing here. Hope that's just okay, good. So let's put a capital N. Nächstes Mal. Next time, I'd like to visit. Okay. So that's a good sequence. She talks about when something happened in the past, and it was for the first time. So zuerst wollte ich München sehen. Ich bin eine Woche in München geblieben. Danach, after that, after being in Munich for a week, that's what the danach refers to, bin ich nach Berlin gefahren. So it looks like she visited 2 cities, really. München und Berlin. And then she's already got another trip planned. So that's how the story kind of ends, with, well, the next time, nächstes Mal, möchte ich auch Leipzig und Dresden besuchen. That's a good little sequential story. Something happened in the past here. Okay, so here's, wählen Sie, choose the word that best completes each. No, is that the one we're not? Let me see here. Yeah, okay. So we have these phrases, ohne, yeah. Let's try that. Du brauchst dein Visum, durch die Passkontrolle zu kommen. In order to get through, yeah, Passkontrolle, zu. Wir sind ins Reisebüro gegangen, in order to call, yeah, erst anzurufen. Liest Zeitung. So anstatt is instead of, has this phrase and zu have to do with in order to, liest Zeitung. Let's say instead of, huh? He reads the newspaper instead of reading a book. Ich nehme nur Handgepäck mit. Instead of packing a heavy suitcase. Yeah? Sie fahren nach Paris, in order to see den Eiffelturm. Eiffelturm ist in Paris. Let's do one more of these. Wir sind ausgegangen. Yeah, in order to take the key with us, we went out in order to take the key with us, or we went out without taking the key with us. That kind of sounds better and more dangerous. Ohne, without. So, zu, ohne zu, anstatt zu. I don't know that as I think back on it, I know we talked about this at one time, but I don't think on the test that I have any of this particular thing. I'll have to go and check, but just take a look at it real quick in the book. Not really a big deal. Zu, ohne zu, without doing something, instead of doing something, in order to do something, are those phrases. Zu, anstatt zu, and ohne zu. All right, this last part, I think, is with the phrases. Look at the drop-down box. I like to look at the drop-down box first and see alles, jemand, man, and nichts. And I think they're all going to be the same. Good. Good. So maybe we're going to use there's 4 words and 4 sentences here. So, wie kann blank Flugtickets im Internet buchen? Wie kann blank Flugtickets im Internet buchen? Now, I see 2 that I would take as a good answer, but there is a better answer. I would take jemand, how can someone, but the common phrase Germans would say here, in fact, these first 3 words of the sentence are very common for a German phrase. Wie kann man? And we might say in English, so how can you book tickets online? Or how do you book tickets online? And we would say the word you, although I don't really mean you. I mean, how does one do that? How do people book tickets online? And we just use the pronoun you for that more often. We could say, how can one book tickets? Sounds a little bit stiff and maybe like you went to Oxford or something. But wie kann man Flugtickets im Internet buchen? That's the better phrase. I will take jemand. Don't worry about that. Blank hat mich angerufen. Something has called me. Here's where this works better. Jemand hat mich angerufen. Now, really only a person can call you, for the most part, right? Jemand hat mich angerufen. That works best there. Ich habe Hunger, denn ich habe heute fast, and fast doesn't mean quick, it means almost. Because I have almost eaten, he's hungry. Ich habe Hunger, almost eaten nothing today. Nichts, heute fast nichts gegessen. Last one here, wir wollen blank in dieser Stadt sehen. Well, we're only left with one left here, but let's take apart what it means, though. We want to see something in this city. In dieser Stadt sehen, we want to see some. We don't know what that is, but our choices are kind of used up. All we have left is alles, and luckily, alles makes sense. We want to see everything. So man means one. How can one buy tickets? How can one book tickets, flight tickets online in the internet? Someone, jemand, someone has called me. Nummer 3. Ich habe Hunger, denn ich habe heute fast nichts gegessen. And nichts means nothing. I'm hungry because I've hardly eaten anything. Or we'd probably say hardly anything. They would say, I've eaten almost nothing today. And then the last one, wir wollen alles in dieser Stadt sehen. Or I left off. We want to see everything. Alles. Man means one, as talking about people in general. Jemand means someone. Nichts means nothing. And alles means everything. Yeah, wir wollen alles in dieser Stadt sehen. Good. So that's similar to what I sent you, but now you've got something else you can look back at and review. I'm sorry to tell you, I went through this, and now as I think about it more, I don't think that we did this. If we did, I talked about it just briefly very briefly, and it was probably here. Well, I'll tell you that in a minute. But so I don't think this is on the test. Don't worry about this here. Please don't give that any second thought. This will be on the test, this kind of stuff here with these phrases, and this won't, anything of these infinitive phrases we won't be doing, but this is, again, it's vocabulary. It's knowing, looking at this, use the travel vocabulary, put together a sentence. Here, use the word bank with these timing expressions, plug them into the blanks then. I think we're going to do that, and then use these indefinite pronouns to make these sentences make sense. All right. So I'm going to make sure I don't cut myself off here. Good. Yes, we're going to leave, and we're going to go back here. Stop screen sharing. Okay, so that's pretty much it, really. We'll probably have, I haven't decided what format. I've got the test all ready to go, but it'll either come to you, online in some way. It'll come to you either as a Google Doc, your own Google Doc, don't have to make a copy of it. I'll send you your own test, or you will get a, what do you call it? A Google form. I've used that before since we've been doing this with another class. It worked out okay, but that wasn't a language class, so I'm not really sure, but we might give that a try. They have a couple of other ways we can do it, but I'm going to try to go with something I know I'm confident works at least. Okay, one other thing, two other things actually. One I started to say a minute ago, and that is that we have not had a regular class for, I don't know, over 3 weeks or almost 3 weeks now. Oh no, actually longer, right? We had spring break, and we've been doing this for about 3 weeks. So 4 weeks, right? So almost a month. So some of this material I know goes back to since before spring break, right? So it goes back over a month ago, because we were working on this chapter before spring break for a while, right? And then came back, and it's been kind of slow going, and you got the learning curve and all that. And I think as just about the time we get real comfortable with this, school year is going to be over. But anyway, so I know you're reaching back, and that some of those things like the timing expressions and maybe some other things, the travel related vocabulary, those are going to be things that are going to be hard to remember, but please take the time to study for those tonight. And whatever time you have tomorrow before test. I will give the test will be released to you at the beginning of our class period. So whatever time that is tomorrow, I don't want to say, but I think but anyway, whatever class time is on the schedule for a Thursday, that's the time right around the time, not maybe to the minute, but where the test will be released and you're able to get it. Please still check in with me when class time begins, or a little before maybe, and I will let you know how the test is coming to you, what to be looking for, or where to go to find it. Okay, so don't just be looking for the test. Email me first, like we do attendance, and then I'll tell you where to go. In that response to you, I'll tell you where to go for the exam. All right. The last thing I said, there were two things, actually three, right? Last thing is this. I know that some teachers have a proctor, have one of your parents be there to watch you take the test and make sure that you're not, being dishonest. I'm going to just ask you, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask you to just be honest and be honorable Cashel Hall students. I understand that at your fingertips, as you take the test, you have all the answers, easy to find, easy to Google, and it would be quite easy to do. I understand that, and there's just no way around that, because we're doing it remotely and doing it probably in some form online, and so you got it right there in front of you. There will be a time limit on the test, and it'll be a little longer than the class period, but other than that, though, I understand the temptation to if you really get stuck to do something you shouldn't, please take the test like you would if it was in my class, and you're being honest and honorable in the way you take it. That's all I can ask of you. Okay? Okay, that's about it. That's 25-minute video. I'm not expected to do that. And we will meet tomorrow. Email me. It'd be great if you could email me a little before class time ends, and we could have, I have a little bit of time to get those emails out to you, to everybody, by the time class begins, of where to go to get the exam. Okay, so, ich wünsche euch einen schönen Abend. Ja, einen schönen Abend wünsche ich euch und auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss und ja, studieren Sie für das Examen. Gut, ciao, tschüss.